Hey there, how's it going? I hope you're all doing really, really well. It is time, surprise, surprise, one of my life lessons. And this one is one that I have shared before, but it's a big, big belief of mine, and that is to make your own rules. One of the mistakes, and I will say mistakes that I have made in the past, is that I followed the rules that so many of us follow. And don't get me wrong, in some ways it benefited me, in other ways it didn't. And to give you an example, like I did all the things. I went to university, I got my degree, I've had really good jobs. I've done all the things that a lot of us do when we get to certain ages or we hit certain points in our lives. And I'm not saying they were the wrong things to do, but what I will say is that I was guilty of following a life plan that I did not create. And it was only really when I got into my 30s that I started to really rail against that, really push against it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are still things I have to do, like I have to pay bills, I have to pay taxes, all that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about those kind of things. What I'm talking about is this idea of, and it was definitely something that I was raised with as a young girl, one day you'll get married and you'll have kids and you'll do this and you'll do that. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, there isn't. But I don't believe that is the life plan for everyone. And the thing that I have really focused on, especially in the last 10 years, the last decade of my life, is really making my own rules and living by my own rules. And I can honestly say, I have become a much happier person as a result. I'm still a work in progress, still things I need to improve on, which will always be the case. But if there is one thing that has made a fundamental difference to my life as an individual, it's living by my own rules and just, doing my own thing, not following the crowd, not following everyone else. If it makes sense to do what everyone else is doing, then that's a different thing. But we are all individuals and ultimately we only get one life. We don't get to do this again. So if you do nothing else, make your own rules and live by your own rules. That's not to say you should ignore everything else. If there is something else that sits outside of your own rules that works for you, then fine. But do not live a life where you just follow the same life plan that so many other people follow, because it might not be the right plan for you. I know it's not right for me. And as a result, I've really gone on a journey to really, really forge my own rules, create my own life. And I'm still very much on that journey now. So yes, make your own rules. And with that, I'll see you tomorrow for another lesson. Bye.